Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It's Friday and we have got a lot to talk about concerning the Manchester United takeover. Are the Glazers finally nearing on selling Manchester United, and who are they going to end up selling to? We're going to be discussing this and more in today's show. There's lots and lots of breaking news, so we're going to have to go all through it very carefully because this no doubt is a crossroads for Manchester United and we are at a very, very important stage in our history. If we get this wrong or we get the wrong owner, it could go completely wrong. If we get the right owner, we could be back onto the path to glory. So hit that like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel because you can keep up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and opinion. So let's kick off today's show with the news that the Glazers are preparing to hold a board meeting with all the members to discuss the offer received by Sir Jim Ratcliffe for that 25% minority stake within Manchester United for £1.5 billion, it's reported. Now, if that is the case, the Glazers look like they are preferring the bid from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and are taking it to the board for approval. Now, this news will not be welcome news for those fans who were hoping that Sheikh Yassim takes over the entire club and kicks the Glazers out of Manchester United. Of course, with Sir Jim Ratcliffe, we always knew that he had the intention of keeping the Glazers at Manchester United and get himself in there somewhere in the board so he could have some say in matters. And this looks like it's a preferred option by the Glazers, who've always had the intention of wanting to stay at the club and seeing where the club goes financially, whether it makes more money and whether they can make more money at the end of the whole project. Now, a few weeks ago, David Hallier of the Bloomberg news agency reported that Sheikh Yassim is his favourite to go and win the bid for Manchester United, and the Glazers will end up choosing Sheikh Yassim. But this now seems to have turned completely 360 and now Sheikh Yassim is out of the picture and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is their preferred bidder. And the same agency, Bloomberg, have reported on this news now, saying that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the favourite to go ahead and acquire 25% of Manchester United, allowing the Glazers to stay on and control the shares at Manchester United and control the boardroom, whilst Sir Jim Ratcliffe will be part of Manchester United going forward. He gives them a cash injection that is much needed, but no one really knows what they'll do with this £1.5 billion investment. What are the Glazers planning to do with it? Are they planning to spend on the club? Because if that is the case, they need a lot more than £1.5 billion to go ahead and reconstruct Old Trafford and rebuild it or improve whatever they need to improve at Old Trafford, improve the facilities at Carrington and generally bring everything up to date and in line with all the other clubs out there. Now, although David Hallier of Bloomberg has said that there's no certainty that the Glazers will choose Sir Jim Ratcliffe's offer and prefer him to be the eventual owner of Manchester United, there is key indications that say that Sir Jim Ratcliffe could be in the driving seat and is way ahead of Sheikh Yassim right now in the process of buying Manchester United. The Glazers having called a board meeting is a huge indication that they do prefer Sir Jim Ratcliffe's offer and they are taking it to the board for approval. However, the Bloomberg report does not rule out Sheikh Yassim coming in and making a last minute offer to buy 100% of the club from the Glazers, and we've got to remember 4 of the 6 Glazers prefer a full out sale of the club and want to leave Manchester United in its entirety, do not want to hang around, but there are 2 in Joel and Avram who want to stay at Manchester United, and that has been the problem since day one of the process starting. The 2 Glazers, Avram and Joel, have always explored options where they could stay on at the club, and that is why there's a general sense that they prefer Sir Jim Ratcliffe's offer because it allows them to stay at the club and see what happens to Manchester United going forward. What is the future with Manchester United? Could they make more money? Could it be valued more? And that is what the Glazers want to see. Maybe in another 5-10 years time, Man United's actual valuation could increase by 3 or 5 times, and that is why the Glazers want to hang around and see whether they can make more money out of Manchester United. But many fans just want the Glazers out in its entirety, and this is not going to go down well if Sir Jim Ratcliffe ends up taking over at Manchester United, because he is supposedly a fan of Manchester United, and no fan in their right mind would want to keep the Glazers on, who've destroyed the club. In the 18 years that they've been here, they've completely wrecked the club on the pitch and off the pitch. We have just become a laughing stock to other clubs around us, and it's all down to the Glazers. There's no one else who's been in charge and who's been calling all the shots. It has been the Glazers, and they are directly responsible for everything that's going on at Manchester United. And some fans have in fact described Sir Jim Ratcliffe as the new Glazer, the Glazer in the UK, and this is not good news, because we as fans do not want a reincarnation of the Glazers. We do not want to jump out of the kettle into the pot, but it does seem like with Sir Jim Ratcliffe this could be a real possibility. He's not got enough money to buy Manchester United in its entirety, but does want something of Manchester United. But we do not want an owner who hasn't got the money to go out there and facilitate the improvements that are needed at Manchester United, at Old Trafford, and go out there and buy players. We need someone to come in and firstly wipe out that debt that Manchester United have been sat on for such a long time, which does prevent them to go out there and do well in the transfer market. Let us know what you think about this whole situation. Drop your comments below. Do you think Sheikh Yassin will come in with a last minute offer, or do you think Sir Jim Ratcliffe will get his 25% minority stake in the club and give the Glazers a cash injection of £1.5 billion? And what do you think is going to happen with that £1.5 billion? Where is that money going to go? Let us know. Drop your comments below. We'd love to hear from all Manchester United fans on what their take is on this whole takeover. Now, we did report earlier this week that we were getting reports that Sheikh Yassin was in the lead and looking like he was going to be the next owner of Manchester United, but that seems to have turned on its head within the last 24 hours, and this has been happening throughout the entire takeover process. One day we've got Sheikh Yassin in the lead, and one day we've got Sir Jim Ratcliffe in the lead. We never know what's actually happening, and we probably still do not know what's happening. All this speculation is speculation. All these reports that are coming out of Bloomberg and other news agencies in Qatar and in the UK are mere speculation. We have to remember that. We've got to remember that the people involved within the process would have signed non-disclosure agreements, and they would not be allowed to make any mention of what's going on behind the scenes. There'll be lots and lots of people involved in this whole process, lawyers and everything, but they would have all signed in non-disclosure agreements, and there'd be severe consequences if they were caught leaking information, because there's share prices involved in this, there's lots of money involved in this, billions of pounds, and no one wants to be caught in the crossfire of that. So I very much doubt that the information that we're getting is 100% accurate, but yes, there are rumours, and these rumours could be true, but we still need to wait and see what's actually happening behind the scenes. There are some journalists and reports that are very, very confident that Sheikh Yassin will eventually be the owner of Manchester United, and they are sticking to that position. They're saying, nope, it doesn't matter what's happening right now, Sheikh Yassin will be the eventual owner of Manchester United. But there are still journalists out there who believe that the Glazers find Sir Jim Ratcliffe's offer the most attractive for that 25% stake, giving them £1.5 billion for it, valuing the club at £6 billion, something that Sheikh Yassin has not done to date, we're hearing. So that could be the crux of the entire process. They are going for someone who is valuing the club a lot more than Sheikh Yassin, and they believe that they are going to be still in control and still have an opportunity to go forward and make lots more money. Let us know your thoughts on the whole entire process. We of course will bring you every single update and development on this as we get it, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss anything going forward. We are having to be really careful on where this news on the takeover is coming from, and making sure that the news is coming from reputable sources and not fake accounts and just fake news. Make sure you hit the like button on this video. You were watching the Man United Streamer channel by the fans for the fans.